What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into Club Jaguar here, a Thanksgiving Eve version of Club Jaguar, a 7-4 version of Club Jaguar. I know a lot of you guys are probably surprised that, hey, we're doing the show where the club is open the night before Thanksgiving. Let me tell you something, guys. I am not apologizing for nothing, okay? I'm not apologizing for nothing. So neither of my co-hosts. First, I got to bring in Jason from Jaguars United. What's up, man?
What's up, man? I am just thankful to be here. Let me just start out by saying that.
Absolutely, man. And next we got Jordan from Gin Jag. What's up, Jordan?
Yo, thankful for Club Jaguar. Thanks for everybody who hits up the club every Wednesday night with us. I'm also thankful for Stranger Things, which I'm not watching right now, the premiere of the new season, to be here with y'all.
See, I don't watch Stranger Things, but I saw people getting excited about it. I thought at first people were getting excited over because I saw a bunch of like gifs or whatever. I was like, oh, maybe they must be excited for Sounds of the Game, but no, it wasn't that. It was Stranger Things. But first, we got to start this thing off right. I gotta ask you guys, what is your favorite Thanksgiving side dish? Okay, I know myself. I was telling you guys pre-stream. I always like to make cornbread stuffing. I think it's just absolutely fire. One of my favorite things to make. Jordan, what about you? Your favorite Thanksgiving side dish?
I mean, that sounds really good. I'm here for the cornbread stuffing. And I'm also here for the other dish you're making. I got to go with mac and cheese, man. The mac and cheese is undefeated. There's a lot of good sides, but mac and cheese every holiday. Got to be there.
You see, the key with the mac and cheese, you got to get the high quality cheese, man. Like, you got to grate it yourself. I get some boar's head cheese, grate it myself, do it fresh made. It's the good stuff. Don't get the frozen Velveeta or whatever you call it. Get that stuff. Jason, what about you?
Man, I gotta agree with you guys, but I'm gonna do a little twist with it. I like to mix my mac and cheese and mashed potatoes together into a conglomerate of cheesy, lumpy creaminess. That's what I like.
Dude, I like it. I like it, dude. Whatever way you have it, and sometimes even leftovers, you can put it between a couple pieces of bread and just have a straight up man's meal of all the mixture of goodness in there. So it's a fun holiday, and we also got 3 fun football games as well. It's honestly the best time of year, and luckily this year we're not talking about where we're going to end up in the draft. We're talking about legitimate playoff football, right? I mean, it's such a fun situation. And, Saturday or Sunday, the Jaguars advanced a little bit, beat the Cardinals. It was definitely one of the more stressful wins I can remember in recent memory. But the Jaguars escape out of the desert with a W. Jordan, overall impressions after last Sunday?
Man, oh man. I mean, was that not the Trevor Lawrence game of all time?
It was.
Definitely.
It was.
Because, you can obviously draw back to the playoff win over the Chargers, but that was like 1 half versus 1 half, right? The first half, it was a real struggle. The second half, it was just lights out. This one, it was like drive to drive, back and forth, roller coaster of emotions, up and down, up and down, up and down. And there's so much good to come from this game, but overall, you're not going to continue to survive if Trevor Lawrence is turning the ball over like that. I don't think he will turn it over like that moving forward. But lucky to win a game having basically four interceptions. I know one was technically called a fumble, but basically 4 interceptions.
Yeah. What about you, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, well said. I guess the good news is like he finally eclipsed that 250-yard passing mark. It seems like he can never get there. And even though it took 3 interceptions, the big thing for me was just how much Brenton Strange brings to this team. And we all knew it, but there was like no drop off. Like the second he gets back, he's the leading receiver. He helps out in the run game. Like, I don't know what we have to do to keep him healthy the rest of this year, but him being in the game makes a huge difference. He was able to overcome a lot of mistakes that this team made. And overall, I was happy with the win. Anytime that you go on the road, especially on the West Coast in any NFL game and come out with a win, that's good. So I'm happy. All in all, I'm happy.
Yeah, Brenton Strange is the ultimate X factor, it feels like, for the Jaguars offense. I mean, they completely changed the personnel package when he's not available, right? So it's he like, what do the Jaguars want to do? They want to be, a physical team that can run the ball well, beat you in a short pass game. That's what they are, and Brenton Strange really does all that stuff for the Jaguars. So It's definitely it's good to have him back for sure. And we'll see Brian Thomas Jr.'s status for Sunday. I know he was limited in practice today. At some point, it probably would be nice to get him back, and it'll be interesting to see how the Jaguars try to deploy him, just because, right now Trevor has some good chemistry with, I know Jordan tweeted out earlier what his passes to Britton Strange and Jacoby Myers, like an 84% completion percentage or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens when Brian Thomas Jr. comes back. But I know with Trevor Lawrence, so he's obviously the big talking point about this game. And I know after the game, I was just like, I was so annoyed with him. I was like, God, it was an awful game. I'm glad we found a way to win it. But then, you always watch the game, the first watch when it's live, you watch it a lot more passionate and a lot more emotional. And then you rewatch the game with a little bit more objectively. And it's like, I almost was more optimistic about him after the rewatch, just because it's like some of the throws he makes are amazing. And it's like, you got to think that at some point he can get over the dumb stuff, because golly, once he gets over that, it's going to be incredible. Like, I really feel like at some point it'll come. Will it be this year? I don't know. But I imagine once he gets more comfortable in the scheme and once he builds up his confidence more, because I do think confidence, after, the last couple of regimes probably isn't there just yet. If he can build it up, I think maybe it'll come. What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I think it's all about just kind of finding your groove. And even with all the dang interceptions in that game, it does feel like the passing offense is sort of finding its groove a little bit, with Britton Strange, Jacoby Myers, and Parker Washington leading the way. You look at the last 4 weeks since the bye, the Jaguars have put up 30 points per game. And they've also really, even though the interceptions are there, they have gotten a lot more efficient down to down. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, he was like 23rd or 24th in the NFL in adjusted completion percentage before the bye. Since the bye, in the last 4 games, he has been top 10 in the NFL. So like, things are changing a little bit. And I know it's hard to see that with all the interceptions and mistakes, but I don't know. I kind of am encouraged the direction they're heading.
What about you, Jason? I know you last night on your channel, you did a comprehensive film review. If you haven't checked that out, watch that. And the special guest at the very end. I'm not going to say who it was, because, you guys had to go to the channel and watch it. But let me know your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for an hour and 40 minutes of just straight Jaguar nonsense, I encourage you to go check it out. But what I talked about on that show is actually something that UCF that you tweeted today. That touchdown throw he had to Jacoby Myers might be his most impressive throw I've seen him make. Like, more impressive than threading the needle, more impressive than some of those throws he's had on the sideline. Dude was jumping backwards in the air and delivered a strike with 2 guys in his face to Jacoby Myers in the perfect spot. I watched that play like 100 times. That was an incredible throw. And maybe I'm getting old, but to me, I'm kind of getting to the point where the only stat I really care about for quarterbacks nowadays is wins and losses. You can have the adjusted completion percentage. You can have the adjusted drop rate. You can do all the analytics you want. To me, it's wins and losses, and he's winning games. So I'm okay until he no longer can win us games.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing about Trevor is, like, some of his best throws, it's not even like, guy was running along the sidelines, hit him right in stride in his hands. It's the throws with anticipation, right? Like the ones to Jacoby Myers, not like from the release point, he's not open. I don't even think he's looking at. I can't remember if he's even looking at the ball when he's open. No. And then the Parker Washington in the back of the end zone, just another one. And there's honestly a whole highlight reel, where it's just all these throws where Trevor Lawrence release point. Last moment the ball's touching his hands, guy isn't open. Guy's still running his route, guy's still covered. But he puts it in the spot where the guy's going to be, and he comes down with it. So it's just it's a Trevor Lawrence experience. We've talked about it all year, and this was, if you were to take one game and say this has been Trevor Lawrence this year, it almost feels like this is the perfect one to do, because throws the interceptions with the lead. There's some turnovers that aren't necessarily on him as much, like the free blitzers or the one that was tipped by Calais. I think you can argue about maybe the first one. Maybe he should have thrown it quicker, whatever. But the tip ball by Calais, it was a good play by an individual defensive lineman. But the last two, it's just he can't make those throws. But I sit here and I see some of the good that he does, and I realize that, what Jaguars quarterback of the past, has been able to do that. And I can tell you, since I've been watching, because I didn't experience as much of the 90s just with my age, a quarterback has never been able to make those throws since I've been a Jags fan.
And factor in just a little cherry on top. He was pretty effective scrambling too. He had that 20-yard run. He's kind of mixing that in. He's doing it in clutch third down situations, and that's a huge aspect of his game that he's been doing that you have to at least acknowledge.
Yeah, and I think that's something that they've adjusted after the bye week, right? It feels like when they went back, like they did some new things, like the power pitch or whatever you called it last week. Been utilizing more of that. Been doing some wildcats. They've been figuring out ways for Trevor Lawrence to kind of design up some runs. So it's almost like, let's find more ways to open up this defense, because right now, like, the one thing that the Jaguars aren't really doing, they're not testing the ball deep, right? They're not throwing the deep ball. It's not there. So it's like, you got to find when you're playing this short game, you got to, I think, find extra wrinkles to kind of keep the defense guessing a little bit. So that'll be fascinating to see as the Jaguars have 6 games left.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, if they can get Brian Thomas Jr. up and going, and he doesn't have to be playing like the All-Pro basically that he was playing like for a lot of last year, but if he can just be a field stretcher, an effective field stretcher for them, this thing really opens up. Yeah. I mean, it absolutely does. And we've seen Trevor Lawrence have success throwing the ball down the field throughout his career. You haven't seen it much this year. If you can get that going, that'd be a hell of a development. And again, as you mentioned, I just think with that, being able to get into 12 personnel or 11 personnel and have Brenton Strange on the field for both of those is huge. Yeah. He's such a mismatch right now, because how do you defend him effectively? I don't know. And I'm not sitting here saying he's Brock Bowers, but part of the issue with defending him is how physical he can be for you in the run game and in the screen game and all the different places you can put him. So it's a good spot to be in, I think.
Interesting. So how do you think, how would you guys play Brian Thomas Jr. when he comes back? Because I know right now, as much as I'd like to say, we're doing fine without him, we don't need to give him that many targets, but it's like, we line up and I'm like, there's Tim Patrick. I love him, but, obviously he's not, the ceiling isn't super high. Austin Trammell's out there playing too. So, how do you guys deploy Brian Thomas Jr. when he comes back? Are you peppering him with targets? Are you just trying to test him deep? Are you letting him run that Tim Patrick wheel route and not look at the ball? What are you guys trying to do with him?
What do you think, Jason?
I mean, I think he's in this weird range where it's either a deep shot on a 9 route or an 8 route, or it's a screen. Like, when you look, like, they didn't have any receivers on the team that averaged under 10 yards a reception, which is fantastic. But when you look at Trevor Lawrence only having 18 completions, I kind of would have liked to see them develop the screen game a little bit more, because I think that opens up everything, and that's kind of a staple of what Liam Cohen does. And I think that was what they were thinking with Travis Hunter. So I think Brian Thomas Jr., I think he's a great opportunity to take some of the snaps away from Tim Patrick, maybe run some of that screen game. I don't think you force feed him the ball. I think you try to keep him outside of the numbers, either get him the ball quick or let him test the defense over the top is what I would guess.
What do you think, Jordan?
I agree completely. And to me, he's your wide receiver 3 right now. He just did when he comes back, and that could change. Things could change for you, but Jacoby Myers needs to be your leading target getter as a wide receiver, just because he's going to help you move the first downs. He's going to be efficient. He's going to catch what's thrown his way. And he's just showing a chemistry with Trevor Lawrence that you really haven't seen from any receiver in Jacksonville in a very long time. So I'm all in on Jacoby being not a long-term wide receiver 1, but a long-term high-volume target getter for the Jaguars. Brenton Strange, same thing. And then Parker has stepped up in such a big way that I think that those are the 3 guys you need to target the most. And then BTJ, you get him involved where you can, trying to stretch the field. You can try to stretch the field both vertically and horizontally with him. If you're going to get him involved, on anything inside the numbers, probably shallow cross, and you don't throw it when there's guys bearing down on him. You throw it when it's wide open, and maybe you get him going that way. But other than that, I think, yeah, it's definitely outside the numbers, like Jason said.
Yeah, and I just feel like with Jacoby Myers and I don't no shot at like Brian Thomas Jr. or Travis Hunter, but it's just like we have a calm presence, like an adult in the wide receiver room, right? That can sit there and if Trevor's down, he can help lift Trevor up. Like I don't know how much Brian Thomas Jr. was kind of lifting Trevor up, and I think one thing that Trevor needs is confidence boosts, right? Like I think at sometimes I think that's one thing that he might be dealing with a little bit. And I know there was a report that after he threw the interception where Calais tipped it, Jacoby Myers was kind of sitting there calming Trevor down because he was he was kind of getting on himself about it. So yeah, with Jacoby Myers, I really like it because he runs solid routes, he gets open, and I think we're getting exactly what we all expected to get out of him when we made the trade. And I mean, it just comes at a really good time. So with Brian Thomas Jr. coming back, it'll just be interesting if we can really have him like add to this group as opposed to what it might feel like in the past and just almost be like a liability. So he has a month off, so we'll just have to see. So I'm curious with you guys, the Jaguars in the last two overtime games that went into overtime, they win a coin toss and they elect to receive the ball. And even I was watching Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell was like surprised after the Jags won a coin toss that the Jaguars elected to receive. Like, what do you guys think about the strategy? I mean, obviously you don't change it because the Jags are 2-0, but do you guys prefer take the ball or would you guys prefer kick it? We'll start with you, Jason.
I think you take the ball because I've seen a couple of overtime games that the Jaguars were not involved in where the team that received the ball was able to chew like the entire clock in overtime. And I think that's what Liam Cohen was kind of thinking. And additionally, worst case scenario, if you have to punt, now the other team is starting their drive from probably inside the 20, whereas if you receive the ball, you're guaranteed, starting the ball at the 30 or 35 or even more. So I think I like that. I understand wanting to, see what happens first to see what you can get, kind of like the Cardinals situation where they knew they only needed a field goal. But I see the strategy. And I'm okay with it. I don't know if that's what I would do, but I have no problem with it.
What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I don't know that there's a right answer, but I do think Liam Cohen has talked about wanting to chew the clock, as you mentioned early on in the overtime period, and wear the other team down and put the pressure on the other team. So I'm good with that, and it's working well. And I do like your point about if you get a first down or two, you're going to be giving your defense better field position to work with than you probably would be on a kickoff. So I like that point as well. I also just think, when Trevor needs a big drive late in the game, he's usually delivering.
Yeah. And I feel like I like the strategy of taking the ball first. I think the main thing is like you almost like you can see from the perspective of, oh, well, if you get the ball second, you can kind of figure out what you need to do. But if you get the ball first, you can almost dictate what the other team needs to do. And the Jaguars obviously got into their range and the drive stalled out, so they kicked the field goal. So now you're putting the Cardinals in a situation where what do they want to do? Like, are they almost sissies if they try to go for a tie? Like in that situation, if the Cardinals had got the ball first and it was 4th and 4, I think that was like a 60-yard field goal. Do they try to bang it through in real time if the Jaguars hadn't got the ball first, essentially, or do they actually go for it? I would guess that they would honestly probably kick it. So, and I think, you saw that situation where they go for it, they didn't get it. And even you saw against the Raiders, the Jaguars score first, get the extra point, and then it makes the Raiders essentially have to go for it on 2 and like a sudden death play, and they don't get it. So Jaguars in both overtimes essentially dictated and put pressure on the other team on what they needed to do. And ultimately, like it was a good move by the Jaguars. So it's fascinating. I hope we don't go. I guess I don't mind going into overtime if we win games, but man, that's some stressful times out there, wasn't it?
And shout out to Dewey Wingard for making the PBU on the last play of the game because Ray Lane bit hard on Trey McBride on a dig in the middle of the field, and Dewey had to come from the other side of the field to make a huge play on that 4th down play.
Yeah. And also, I mean, shout out to Cam Little for the 52-yard field goal to get the first points of overtime. Because, man, like that's a high-pressure kick. Because if you miss that kick, you're probably losing. Because, you know, they don't need that much. They mean, like, what, 15, 20 yards being field goal range? I mean, shout out to him because he's turned into a damn good kicker. Because even at the beginning of the year when he was making kicks, his kickoffs weren't good. And then he got the kickoffs right, and then his regular kicks weren't good. Now, every kick, he's making every kick, and every kickoff is going to the 0-yard line. So it's good to have him because you saw the Cardinals. I don't know what the Cardinals' strategy was, but for whatever reason, they did not want to test their kickoff team. Like they kept kicking the ball like in the back of the end zone, so the Jags kept starting off with the ball at 35. Not too sure what that was about, but I know the Jaguars. I mean, the kick coverage has been a lot better because they've been starting off with the ball. It feels like every time within the 25-yard line.
Well, Parker Washington and Tootin have been outstanding in the return game. So, I mean, I don't blame them. They've been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want those guys to touch the ball.
Yeah. And shout out to Parker Washington, man. Another big – every week it feels like he has another punt return. I mean, that guy is he's just a football player, man. I mean, he's a guy like, you know, every year you try to bury on the depth chart a little bit. Oh, you bring in De'Ami Brown, bumps Washington down. Like it's like the cream rises to the top, it feels like every year. And, I mean, that guy, he's just a straight-up baller and a straight-up playmaker.
He absolutely is. And it's a shame that they took away the one touchdown against the Rams, not only because that could have maybe shifted momentum a little bit, but also because he deserved that. And there was no penalty on that play. So unbelievable year as a returner, developing into a really good quality receiver. And so that's chef's kiss. And it's crazy looking back at some of these Trent Baalke guys that are really showing up now. They're showing up now.
You know, sometimes I wonder how Doug Peterson and Trent Baalke watch these games because you gotta feel like Trent Baalke is probably rooting for these players that he drafted. And I have a feeling Doug Peterson is not rooting for the Jaguars at all.
That would be an interesting thing to know what Doug is thinking these days, but don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, got that out of the organization. Now we got Baselli and Gladstone and crew, and I'm excited to see, you know, what they start doing going forward. Shout out to a few super chats. Technus by World. Am I the only one who thinks Trevor Lawrence has moments where he's like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, and others where he's Blake Bortles or Ryan Leaf? That's
I don't think we need to throw Ryan Leaf in there, but
yeah, maybe not Ryan Leaf. I think that's a little far.
But yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's a Trevor Lawrence experience. I've never been through anything like it, but all I know is the Jaguars are 7-4 right now and have an opportunity to with the tiebreaker. And I don't know, Jordan, do you know with tiebreakers that Jags win and Colts lose? Well, are we technically in the lead for the AFC South?
This week?
Yeah, like if it were to come because I don't know, I don't look that deep into it because
yeah, I've done a lot of things with the I haven't done that. Wow. Today I looked at a lot of different, but I can figure that out.
I would think it would come down to division record, and the Colts would have it still, right?
Yeah, because they swept the Titans, or they'd be 2-1. But yeah, they had division, and they also
both
have
teams would be 2-1.
Yeah, and they still have 2 more games against the NFC. The Jaguars have wrapped up the NFC, so it would come down, I think, the conference stuff. But
so the third tiebreaker is one best record in common games. Oof. So and we're going down a whole
we're going down. That's one of those things where it's like, okay, the Jaguars are tied for first place. We still have 2 games against them. So
and the bottom line is the next week. That's the matchup for the division.
Yeah,
you know, at this point in the season.
Oh yeah, and bottom line, if the Jaguars go 6-0, it doesn't matter what any other team does. Jaguars first place.
That's true.
I mean, being in a position where you control your own destiny, it really is great. Where you don't have to sit here and try to root for this team and that team, and if this and that happens. So yeah, Jags
go 6-0. Could they pass the Pats? I think they could definitely get to the number 2 seed if they go 6-0 because they've beaten the Broncos.
Yeah,
but could you get to the number 1 seed?
Well, I haven't looked at the Pats schedule, but I do know
Pretty
people are
easy.
saying they have a tough. I thought they had a tough schedule coming up. The Pats.
I think it's easy.
Yeah,
Let's see here.
but that's pretty wild that the Patriots right now are
I know.
are top of that. So, and I know
So they play the Giants, which they should win that game. They play Buffalo and Baltimore back-to-back weeks, so that's like their big matchups. And then New York and Miami are divisional games, so they're going to be fighting to try to win those two. So I wouldn't say it's like necessarily super hard, but
yeah,
there's some
They
games.
got some
there.
games. Yeah.
I mean, I think they'll be favored in every single one of those games. Maybe not Baltimore. Maybe that one might be a little different. With the Bills, like, golly, the Bills are so injured. That was a pretty pathetic performance on Thursday night. I mean, Josh Allen couldn't do anything. And the hate watch did not go very well, but it boosted the Jaguars up a position, I guess. Actually, I don't think it did. I think,
yeah. So we did jump the Bills, but the tiebreaker is so stupid. Like how the Jaguars and the Chargers could have the same record, but the Jaguars beat them, and the Chargers are ahead of them. It's because of that three-way tie, and the Chargers have a better conference record.
Yeah, it goes down to like, Jaguars have played 4 NFC opponents. They might have only played like 2. And, I think the Jaguars are like 2-2. So maybe they're 2-1. And then the high, you know what I mean? It just, it gets too convoluted, but it all clears out at the end. I don't, tiebreakers, it'll all work out. Jag just goes 6-0. We'll be good.
Yep. I do think the Chargers are probably going to fall off a little record wise.
I'm just really hopeful that I really don't want the Texans to sneak in. That defense would be a scary matchup, especially if the Jaguars win the AFC South and they somehow match up with the Texans. Because I mean, of course, the Jaguars don't have a good history against them, but it's also like that's the one team I would love to try to avoid at least in the first round. At some point, you're going to play tough teams. You can't avoid everybody, but that's a team I would hate to play round 1.
I would like to play the Texans again.
I'm a Dalton here. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see the rest of the schedule.
I would like to see him again.
Well, because we know what's going to happen.
Get that taste out of your mouth.
Well, no, every quarterback plays bad against the Texans. So we're going to have the conversation for like 7 months about how Trevor Lawrence choked against the Texans in the like I can already see it happening, right? So I don't know. I'd rather give me like the Chargers. Everyone's afraid of the Ravens. Give me the Ravens. I don't care. Actually, Ravens are going to win probably the AFC North, but
I think so.
Steelers. I'll take the Steelers. The Steelers have literally been the same team somehow the last 10 years. So I'll play them.
Right now, it feels like the only team that is ripe for potentially falling out of the playoffs that is in the current top 7 is probably the Chargers. So maybe one other team is getting in, and the teams fighting for it right now that are not in the top 7. Texans, Steelers, and Chiefs.
Actually, here's a question for you, Jason. I know you're with me. Would you rather play the Texans or Chiefs?
I was just thinking that. Man. Jeez.
Here, I'll go first. I'll let you think about it. I would rather the Chiefs just because I think it would be easier to stomach a loss. Like
that's one way to look at it.
I'm just the thing about me, I have a personal vendetta because I'm in so deep with just Texans fans on Twitter where I mean, I love it and I love troll. Like I do most of my Texans trolling after they win and when they're doing good. So it's a lot of fun. But dude, that'd be rough. So I'm
with you with that, but I think I'd rather play the Texans in the playoffs for sure.
Interesting. Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah.
You do not want to play Patrick Mahomes in the damn playoffs.
No, you don't.
Trevor Lawrence did a good job last time they did that. I mean, he played a winning football game, but things fell apart around him a little bit, unfortunately.
Yeah. Jamal Agnew.
Didn't want to say it, but yeah.
See, those are the kinds of losses. I hope if we lose,
that was the game that got me in trouble with Christian Kirk. He got mad at me.
Dude, like
talking about his drop.
Dude, these players don't read Twitter, and especially don't read Twitter. Like, don't read live tweets. Okay, we all like. I know maybe Jordan doesn't, but I know Jason and I we tweet some emotional stuff. Okay,
I say all the time. I'm like, please just ignore me during the game on Twitter. Like that, I don't mean any of it. Okay.
What's ridiculous? Like, I'll tweet stuff, and then like the day after, somebody will like at the player, and I'm like, dude, like, why? Like, why?
So annoying, dude.
Like,
That's
it
the
doesn't.
worst.
It's like, I don't know, whatever. Shout out to Biggs 904, big $10 dono. Shout out to him, man. He says, "Happy Thanksgiving to you, Jordan, UCF, and Jason, and your families, and to my fellow Jaguars fans. I am thankful being 7-4, 6th seed in AFC. I'm thankful for players, coaches, and staffs. Thankful for you guys. Dude, he's thankful for everybody.
I'm with
Okay,
him.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. These are. I don't think we did a Thanksgiving Eve show yet last year because I think we were 2-9. I think I was like, you know what? There's not enough.
You know what I'm thankful for? That
What are you
we've
thankful
kind of
for?
put out of our minds that no one's talking about relocation anymore. Like
yeah.
Hell yeah.
that was a narrative for so long, and I am thankful that that's not even a conversation anymore. That's what I'm thankful for.
Yeah, that's nice. Nobody's talking about it anymore. Nobody's saying London. Nobody's saying any of that. And we all knew it wasn't gonna most likely wasn't gonna happen. And especially like I knew it wasn't gonna happen after they built that performance center. But 30-year lease, we're locked in, baby.
Yeah.
We're locked in. So that's pretty awesome because I don't want to imagine a life where Jaguars somehow relocate. I'm like, what do I do? Like, what do I do? Like, seriously, like, because it's one thing to be like, okay, no longer Jags fan, going to be the fan of this team or whatever. But then like they still have all the same players, you know? So it's just same uniforms, whatever. But yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. Love from Praha says, talking about Trevor being clutch, how about Club Jaguar? But for real, Parker and Myers are blatantly wide receiver 1 and 2. Saying otherwise is delusional. Wow.
I mean, it's hard to argue against that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just I feel like the Jaguars need like a Brian Thomas Jr. type. They need 2024 Brian Thomas Jr. so bad because like we don't really have anybody right now that stretches the defense. And granted, he wasn't doing that, you know, when he was here and healthy. But gosh, if we could unlock some kind of deep ball element here, you know, and even like when Trevor throws it, it looks awkward, you know, when we do try to throw deep. But man, if we can. I don't think we beat a guy deep once. Like any big air yard throw where we just blatantly beat him. I mean, there's been some. I know Brian Thomas Jr. I think has a 60-yard reception this year, but it came off of like a slant, you know. So like not that much air yardage, but
Number 12's got that potential.
No doubt.
Unfortunately, he's not very available right now, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's unfortunate, dude, because it felt like we were about to unlock something there, but you know.
But it's a non-zero chance that gets unlocked at some point over the next 6 games, not with Travis Hunter, but with Brian Thomas Jr. And then you're rolling into the playoffs. Like, good luck stopping this passing attack. And oh, by the way, we can run the ball pretty well too.
I just worry so much for Brian Thomas Jr. that a drop loses a game for us because you know the drop against the drop against the Bengals. I mean, it was week 2. So you had a lot of time to recover from it. But, I mean, we can't afford any of that anymore, you know? Like, we can't afford, like, a drop that just loses the game like that. Or even a drop in the, you know, you drop a third down in the second quarter, and then that leads to the team scoring on the next possession. We just can't afford that. So I think we need him to come back. Like, I think we need that player back because, you know, like I said, I think we need that element, but we'll see. We'll see what version of it comes back for sure.
It makes me nervous too.
It makes me very nervous, dude. It makes me very nervous. So
I just think when it's a have to have it play, that's probably not your target.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. But then he did catch a must have it a couple times against the Texans and the Chiefs. So it's like,
yeah, it's crazy.
It's hard, man. I really hope that, you know, this, you know, because he had a month break, so just get physically better, but mostly mentally better. I hope he took some time to do whatever he needed to do, just because it's going to be nerve wracking. Like, I'm nervous for it, and that's why I almost hope I was fine with him going out in the Cardinals game, but against the Titans, like, if we can somehow just pepper the guy with targets, get him back in the groove, I don't know. So we'll see if he's back. Seeing him limited today was, you know, I guess. I don't know. I guess it was a little bit of a downer. I figured at some point, because I know against the Chargers, I think he was a game time decision to sit him. And then obviously
he's been limited like the whole time.
Yeah.
The first week, I think he wasn't practicing, but then the last couple weeks he's been limited. So yeah.
Yeah. So another one for Tekken. Do y'all consider the Titans as our arch rival? I mean, I think historically, yes. I don't think there's a bigger
Yes.
rival historically.
I think that the Titans are the Jaguars' arch rival, but in the current arc that we're in, the Texans are kind of the rival that you really think about the most.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's almost like with the Titans, it's like it's funny that they're doing bad, but it's like at some point they need to get good because we need to spark back this rivalry because they're pretty awful right now. So we'll just see. Another one from Biggs 904. He bit so hard he snapped into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah.
Talking about Rayon Lane.
Rayon Lane. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to think like maybe the coaches were like double team him because it was like 4th and 4.
Yeah, for sure.
That could have been what it was, but
don't let him beat you.
They almost gave up a home run on that.
Yeah. No,
luckily Brissett had a bad throw. If Brissett would have thrown it to like the near hash, that could have been bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Braswell was in a decent spot.
He was, but it was also a bad throw by Brissett. Like if it was
shout out to Kyle Donovan, big time one, $20 one here. He says, "Happy Thanksgiving to you all. I don't know how to feel about Trevor, but all that matters is that you all have a happy Thanksgiving to you and your families." Duval, dude, thank you, man. That's awesome. We love doing the show. We love covering it. It's so much fun right now. Just talking about the Jaguars. The Jaguars are always on my mind, and it's fun stuff. So for sure. And last super chat here. This one's coming after Jordan. It says Jordan criticizes BTJ, but defends Josh Hines-Allen. Crazy work. Wow,
crazy work defending one of the best run defending edge players in football, top pressure guys in football. You look at the true pass rush win rate, again, in true pass rush sets, number 6 in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, the only guys in front of him are Myles Garrett, the Texans guys, and like Jared Verse, maybe.
Do you know what was wild about
Michael
last
Parsons?
Game, though? Wild about last game. They're not even double teaming Josh Hines-Allen anymore. That dude is getting one-on-ones every snap. Like this narrative that Travon Walker's out, so they're double teaming him. Not true. Absolutely not true. This dude was going one-on-one against a backup tackle all game.
Yeah, and that was cool. We haven't talked about that. They moved him around more than they have all year. He played, I believe it was 25 snaps on the defensive left side. That was, twice as much as he's played. Actually, it was 45 snaps. Excuse me. It was 45 snaps. That was more than like 5 times as much as he's played on the left side all year. And they did that again because, like you said, they didn't have anybody to play right tackle. And I love that they're actually going out there and trying to attack the matchups. That's so cool. 11 pressures and a sack in this game.
The sack was BS. Jacoby Brissett spun out, tried to spin out of pressure right into his arms. It was just like his season where he had all those sacks. It was, I don't know, man. I mean, Dennis Gardeck looks better coming around the edge than Josh Hines-Allen does. I don't care what anyone says.
Well, he's more of in a blitzing. He's not like truly like running off the edge the way Josh Hines-Allen is. It's not the same spot. But yeah, Dennis Gardeck and Devin Lloyd, they hit the crap out of the quarterback all game.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Well, that's what's been nice about the last, because I know the Jaguars went through when they were in their like little funk. They were going through this thing where like just felt like nobody was getting pressure. No one was getting after it. In the last couple of weeks, just new guys stepping up. I mean, this is a big Gardeck revenge game. I mean, he was all over the place. The one before we saw a bunch of BJ Green and Danny Strigo. So this is
my guy Liam Cohen knows why. And it just makes me so happy to hear him talk about it. It's what I've been talking about. It's the coverage. Hey, I'll be his friend for sure.
It's his guy. He asked him a question the other day at the press conference.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, all the time.
And they text, I heard.
Yeah. Yeah, he hits me up all the time asking me what they should be doing on the offensive side of the ball.
You tune into Club Jaguar? Or is he a Club 904 guy?
He's actually a regular.
Maybe this is him. Maybe this
I was about to say he was the guy that was calling out.
Sorry, that was him.
It sounds like here. While you do that, let's give a shot of this one.
He doesn't like
$10
Josh
one.
Hines-Allen.
Gator John Bites says, "Can we give love to Foye? Foye Luakin. I'm not even gonna try to say this first name. He deserves more respect around the league. I hope he's a Jaguar for life. 1,000 plus is immaculate. Yeah, he's a beast. He's pretty much always, damn near always, the leading tackler for the Jaguars. He's always in the right position. It feels like he's absolutely great for the Jaguars culture.
He had a pretty bad missed tackle in the Cardinals game. Gave up like a 35-yard play on a missed tackle. But besides that, he's been pretty good. I'll give you that.
He's good, man. I'm a fan.
The clutch gene, though. The clutch gene. He made the tackle when it mattered.
Liam Cohen was asked about what has sparked the increased success of the pass rush. He said, "I think our coverage." No, I think I've already asked him about it before, so I'm not trying to just berate the guy. But
I tweeted at him, no answer.
Damn it, Liam. I do think our coverage in the back end has improved over the last 2 weeks in terms of playing a little bit stickier, having a little bit more of a feel for the underneath zone specifically, to not get as much depth in some of our zone coverage, having a little bit more of a feel for, all right, people are trying to work those quick to short intermediate throws as a linebacker or nickel or safety down at the second level, not giving up too much ground and depth. I think that those things have combined to help the pass rush be able to get home more. And I agree completely. You take away the quick game, you make them hold on to the ball for more than 2 seconds, and you have the guys to get after it in the pass rush department.
And I will say, like, when I was watching the D line and because we got a lot of pressure this game, no doubt about it, but it didn't seem like one guy was just dominating. It seemed like as a unit, they were all collapsing the pocket together, which is something I feel like I hadn't seen all year. But they were getting pressure from the interior. They were getting pressure from both edges. And it wasn't like these games the Jags play where we have one DN that's just like dominating us. It was kind of like a team effort, which I really like to see this game. You couldn't really point to anyone that was really, really like outstanding besides Gardick on his rushes. Everyone just kind of seemed to play well. I know there's some hate in there for Devon Hamilton, but even he was doing a good job collapsing the pocket from the interior last game. So
that was one of his best games.
Yeah, it was good to see as a unit. I think the whole D-line played well as a unit.
Yeah, and this one might have been one of the best games that maybe Anthony Campanelli called, because just, dialing up blitzes at the right moments. There were times on critical plays where there was, pressure right in the guy's face, right in Jacoby Brissett's face. So it's, and we'll see. Hopefully we grab onto him another year. I know there's some rumors about maybe him to the Giants, but he's been just such a refreshing, face on this defense. Anthony Campanelli. He's the defensive coordinator for the Jaguars.
He's not friends with him, only Liam.
Yeah, only Liam.
Damn. That would be crazy.
Yeah. I've seen that too. We've been saying it on this. I know Dalton and me have. I think this dude's gone. Like, I would hire him in a heartbeat. What he's done with this Jags defense.
But it's also
that's just quick. It's real. You usually don't see a defensive coordinator have that meteoric of a rise. You've never been a DC before this year in the NFL.
But at the same time, are you hiring for X's and O's, or are you hiring him to be the guy that rallies people?
Both for sure. That's what you should be hiring as a head coach, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, have you heard that guy talk? I mean, that dude will crush any interview he gets in, guaranteed.
Yeah, and that's what he did here for sure.
Yeah. And shout out to this one. My wife with a super chat says, "Dalton, you're mad handsome." Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. So next, what we can do, of course, sponsor of this show. We've been getting so many super chats over here. Haven't even been able to get to this channel's sponsor and Club Jaguar sponsor, and that is the Sleeper app. And by the way, free $20 entry with promo code UCFJAG. Thanksgiving's tomorrow. Lots of games on, so it'd be cool to kind of get involved that way. Which by the way, Jason, I'm still alive in both chop leagues. Look, I'm five left in one league, 4 left in the other. It's getting down to it.
That percentage doesn't look good right there.
Yeah, I think I'm the second highest projected. Yeah, but everybody's in danger now. Look at this. Only one person considered safe. So yeah, we'll see how it ends up. But what we're gonna do, I guess we can go to do some Thanksgiving games tomorrow. Why not? George Pickens, Derrick Henry, these ones, yeah, it's crazy. Joe Burrow's coming back. Let's see what his numbers look like. They're probably not even 1.5 passing touchdowns. Let's see if anything highlights to you guys. I'm gonna do Amon-Ra St. Brown higher than 74.5. That guy's good in the spotlight for sure.
I really liked. This isn't a Thursday game, but Brenton Strange yards was really low on the thing I looked at.
Oh, that was easy. That was easy money last week.
It was crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna do
still
that.
Really
one.
low.
Yeah, we're gonna do that one. I may do some ones tomorrow. I won't get. Look at this 26.5 for Brenton Strange.
That's crazy.
That's easy. That's easy. And I mean, I'm doing Travis Etienne 61.5. This is the worst run defense and one of the worst, I guess I should say. Top 6 worst.
They're allowing over 130 yards a game on the ground and like 4.8 yards per carry. So
yeah, I imagine a lot of that comes when they're way down too, when teams are running it out. But
do DK less than a touchdown against the Jags.
Let's do it.
Is it a receiving or any?
It's anytime still.
Oh yeah. All right. So did you guys see the tweet that went out? Like all-purpose yards, DK leads the league, and I'm like, he has more all-purpose yards than Jonathan Taylor. Then I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, you and I can catch the ball in the end zone and run 20 yards before getting blasted. Like, that's insane. All right, so $5 to win $34. This is going right here. Automatically accept. Yeah, we're gonna do that. It's fine. There we go. We're about to be submitted here, and like I said, free $20 using promo code UCFJAG. It'll be something fun to hang around tomorrow. As the Jaguars do not play, which, by the way, for you guys, do you guys ever wish the Jaguars played on Thanksgiving, or are you trying to kind of leave that a stress-free day for you guys?
I'm good with it. I'd take it.
I would absolutely love it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
it'd be the best Thanksgiving ever.
That'd be because I travel, to Ocala for Thanksgiving, so like, and I'm around a bunch of football people. I just don't know if I need stress on Thanksgiving because, like, imagine having that Cardinals game on Thursday. On Thanksgiving. Oof. Yeah. I had a headache after that one.
Well, I would rather have the day off the next day than it be a Monday.
Yeah, that's true.
Aren't we the only team that's ever played on Thanksgiving?
I don't think the Texans have played. I think it's the Jaguars and Texans, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Coach, man. Didn't know you had a wife. I want a refund now. That's funny. All right, so Jaguars actually play the Titans this Sunday. Titans are, to put it nicely, awful. 1-10. The only win coming against the Cardinals. So, of course, they're highlighted by rookie number 1 overall pick Cam Ward, who's looked a little bit better the last couple of games. Of course, doesn't have a lot of help out there. Like, their run game is awful. The top pass catcher in Calvin Ridley out now. He's not throwing to like anybody. It's an awful team, and the Jaguars really have no business losing this game. At the same time, any given Sunday in this league, they battled with Seahawks a little bit. Score looks closer than it was because they got a little pity touchdown at the end. But when you look at this game going forward, Jason, what are your overall vibes going into this one?
I think this is a easy win for the Jags. I look at this as probably the easiest game on their schedule. I think Trevor Lawrence could have a terrible game, and we still win this game with our defense and the run game. I would probably even hammer the 7.5 for the Jags because, I mean, I don't see anything out of the Titans outside of their kick return game that's even remotely scares me. I think they're just going to come out and run the ball. I think Trevor maybe has 20 passing attempts all game, and they just run the ball down their throats, and it's a fast game. The clock's rolling, and it's one of those games like the Chargers where we're not stressed the entire time.
What do you think? What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I wanted to roll throughout this week and be a little bit cautiously optimistic about this game, but there's no reason for this to be a close football game. Jason's absolutely right. The Titans can't defend the run. Not very good at defending the pass. They don't run the ball very well. They don't have a very good offensive line. Cam Ward can make some plays. DK can make some plays. Jeffrey Simmons is a stud. I mean, that's all they got.
Yeah,
that's all they got.
And if you look at go ahead, Jason.
I would say we're being nice because it's Thanksgiving. We actually
hate exactly. Each other, yes. They'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Just wait.
You should see the passive aggressiveness when they each personally text me, but it's fine. That's for another day. So one thing that is honestly probably plays in the Jaguars' favor is the weather is going to be awful. When you actually look at Sunday, 80% chance of rain, low of 29, high of 47. So, like, I think going into this, the only way the Titans actually have a chance to win is if all of a sudden Cam Ward is just dicing up our secondary somehow. But this weather forecast, it doesn't call for, being an air raiding passing attack. And the Jaguars have, I think the best rushing defense in the NFL right now. They stop these guys, and they're going against one of the worst. And the Jaguars have a really good rushing attack, and the Titans just don't. So yeah, with this one, I mean, it's going to be some crappy weather for sure. But I mean, we could get battle tested a little bit. It's cold. It's cold in January when you're trying to make these playoff runs. Heck, even in Jacksonville, it can be cold. It's cold in January. That playoff game against the Chargers was a cold one for sure. So yeah. With this one,
it's not supposed to rain during the game, but it could be wet.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to rain Saturday, it says. So I mean,
it's supposed to, Sunday morning. It's supposed to rain, so like it could still be wet. You never know how things can end up changing between Wednesday to Sunday with a forecast. So
yeah, I'm about to say, like, man, with Florida, you can't predict that stuff. I don't know how easy it is up in Tennessee. Like, and to say, like if we're Floridians right now and it's Wednesday night and you said, oh, on Sunday it's going to rain in the morning, it's like no. I don't know how weather works up there, but I only know Jacksonville and Orlando weather. I don't know.
Yeah. Either way, we're fine. And if there's one thing we know about Trevor is like ball security is not an issue for him. So I think if it rains, it's fine. I think we'll be good either way.
Yeah. No, ball. I mean, he's going to get tested. Ball security right here. So, this
just
one.
Hand it off to your running back and you'll be fine.
Yeah. I almost wonder if it's going to be, I mean, I know Travis Etienne's a Southern boy, Louisiana, Clemson, but, Bashal Tootin and LaQuint Allen are used to these cold weather games. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they get a little bit more workload. I was surprised last game that, because I thought it was pretty split, the backfield against the Chargers, but felt like a heavy ETN game. And I feel like we're still waiting for the big, long run by Tootin. I feel like it's almost been there, but he gets tackled. But I think at some game, it'd be nice to maybe give Bashal Tootin, like, kind of the lead back role. I don't know if any of you guys agree with that.
No.
Even against the Titans team where we think we should handle them.
I mean, if you get up, sure, you can give him more, but
I think ETN just gives you so much more in the pass game that when he's on the field, defenses have to, account for that. Whereas Tootin has the home run ability, but, I don't think you're playing your defense any different when Tootin's on the field. So I think he will hit one. But yeah, I'm good with ETN getting the lion's share of the carries.
By the way, let's do a check-in here. How do you guys feeling about, contract year course for him? What are you guys doing with ETN this offseason?
Keep him if you can. They got a lot of guys that are playing pretty well that are going to be set to hit free agency, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. I see this as a situation where he hits them. I mean, he's been so good, but I mean, if he hits the free agent market, I'm sure someone's going to pay him more than we're willing to. So I'm not sure. I mean, they did draft 2 running backs, and I know we all like ETN, but they did draft.
And you can always draft another one too.
Yeah, you can draft another one. I just don't know if I've seen enough from Tootin to say, okay, like we have the replacement for ETN. I just don't know how much. Running backs are obviously weird. So we'll see. I would try to find a way to hang on to him. I don't know how much the franchise tag number for a running back is. Obviously, it's not ideal because it's 100% off the cap. But
I wouldn't go down that road unless you were working towards an extension for sure. But
yeah,
I mean, you look at running back contracts.
It's not that much.
Most of them are really reasonable.
I mean, the superstars get money. The superstars get money, right? Like Saquon and stuff. But Christian McCaffrey. But I don't think ETN's going to demand that from anybody.
I don't either. Like James Cook got signed this offseason, $11.5 million. Kyron Williams got signed this offseason, $11 million.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the range.
You should keep him in that range. I mean, I would do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think James Cook might be better than him, but I think he's better than Kyron. So I think it would have to be probably along that range. But we'll see. Like you said,
Cook is worse than him in pass pro, though.
Yeah, and that's big.
So yeah,
That's really big. And Jaguars have some guys coming up. I know Devin Lloyd, he'll be said to be a free agent. I know there's some discussion about, Trayvon Walker. Of course, he has a 5th-year option, so you have another year to figure that one out. But at this point, yeah, Jacoby Myers, that's another one.
Jacoby's like priority number 1 for me.
Yeah, no, you got to keep
and Devin too, man. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, and I think Jacoby Myers just. I mean, if you're a Trevor Lawrence truther, I think you want to keep Jacoby Myers because, we all go back and, we look through the history. I mean, when we were in the first half of the year, we were all talking about how reliable Marvin Jones Jr. was, right? And then now we have a Jacoby Myers who is younger than him and, can really settle down this receiving core. So it's, it's something worth looking at for sure. But yeah,
regardless of who you want at quarterback, I think you want Jacoby Myers helping that guy.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I want to ask you guys, so 2 AFC South matchups this week, and we all obviously feel like, Jags should at least curb stomp. I mean, when you look at the Arizona spread, it was 2.5. This one is 7.5. That's a big delta there. And even though the records were similar, the Cardinals, were a team that didn't have a lot of wins, but have a lot of individual good players. It doesn't feel the same with the Titans. So, but there's a huge one here, huge AFC South implications. The Texans going to India against the Colts. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like the Texans are going to pull this one out, to be honest with you. I think they're hitting their stride in the right moment. It'll be interesting with CJ Stroud, how he looks in this new, this offense, because, Davis Mills was able to kind of, run some stuff over there. But how are you guys feeling about this one?
CJ back?
CJ is back. I mean, he would have been back for the Bills game if it had been on Sunday. But
yeah, he was a full participant today.
Yeah. I think Petrie's back too.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if that's good or bad for them right now.
I really don't know because sometimes CJ, because I listened to some Texans guys and they're kind of like, maybe CJ isn't the easiest guy to be the coach of because there's a lot of stuff that he doesn't like. And, sometimes you kind of see a little bit of like almost arrogance with him. So I don't know. It'll be really fascinating to see, if they go out there and he says Stroud is out. Is that? I don't know. Sometimes you can't rely on these comments.
That's actually.
But if they go out there and the offense just doesn't move and they score 10 points, like there might be a conversation about like, I mean, that'd be awesome. Honestly, I would love that discourse in Houston over there. But I guess, how are you guys feeling?
I mean, like you said, I think Stroud will be the X factor there because we kind of know what Davis Mills is. They're still pretty competitive. I mean, they lost to the Steelers and the Chiefs this month. But the X factor there being CJ Stroud. So it'll be interesting to see. It'd be hard to predict. Colts are a good team, no doubt about it, and they're going to be in it at the end. So CJ Stroud, I think, like you were right, Dalton. He's the X factor for me.
Who are you predicting to win though? I think I got the Texans.
I think I got the Colts. Yeah.
All right, Jordan, split it. What are you thinking?
I'm leaning Texans. I don't feel great about it. I think that they'll split. They still play each other twice. I think they'll split. So I'll go Texans win in Indy.
It's just weird schedule making that like it's the Colts haven't faced the Texans or Jaguars yet, and tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
the schedule makers knew.
Yeah.
The script was written.
But I'm excited to play Indy just because I feel like we match up pretty well against them. So that'll be a fun one. They're coming to Jacksonville. So we know the history there. And the Jaguars, I mean, they take care of business against the Titans, which God, I hope we do. Obviously, you can't count W's before you get there. But man, that's no matter what happens this weekend. I mean, that is such a huge game for the Jaguars picking up, one over here with a team with a division lead. You get a division win, you get a conference win. I mean, the best wins are divisional wins, especially when you go down to this crazy tiebreaker right now where the Jaguars are behind the Chargers, even though they beat them head to head. So this is definitely huge going forward.
Yeah. Now I don't know if you want to be the 5 seed.
Why is that?
At Baltimore, probably.
No, the one that like Baltimore would probably get the 4 seed, right? So 4 would play. Oh yeah, 4 would play 5. That's true. So yeah,
Something
that's
to
tough.
worry about a different day.
Yeah,
We'll probably end up being the 4 seed and still play Baltimore at home.
But also one thing I tell everybody, like you're gonna play good teams in the playoffs. Like you can't avoid everybody every time, So at some point, just beat the opponent, get in. That's all I want to do. Just like it'd be such a W for the Jaguars just to get into the playoffs, just with where we were at, and then doing this in the first year of a regime. Then it's all about, can you do it back to back years? Because we've had blips in the radar, but we haven't had it back to back. Stack them, go 3 in a row, and then all of a sudden you're starting to build a little bit of a of a franchise of some sort. So that's what we're all looking for.
If the playoffs started today, it would be at Indy.
Yeah, that'd be crazy,
That's pretty
man.
wild.
That would be crazy.
I'd take our chances.
Yeah. I wonder when the last time we actually matched up against a division opponent in the playoffs. I don't think it had to have been 1999, right? Yeah. We've been the 2000s, it was like Steelers and Patriots and stuff, and then we all know the recent years. So that'll be interesting, man. But all right, that'll do it for tonight's show of a victory, another 7-4 version of Club Jaguar, Thanksgiving Eve version of Club Jaguar. Jason, I know you did a big stream last night. Am I hearing call-in show on Friday? What are we doing?
Maybe.
We'll see. I heard you mention it on your show, so I'm trying to put it out there.
Yeah. Maybe potentially. We'll see. There's your answer. I am off Friday, so I'm never usually off Fridays. So I might try to do a little something.
Just look, Jason's channel is in the description. Go there, but don't only subscribe. You got to hit the bell. You got to hit the bell because he'll randomly go live, and you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. That's for sure. Because it's a very Jason does a very good job of just interacting with the chat and stuff like that. A lot better than me. So he's a fan channel, right? He's a fan channel.
It's fan channel. That's right.
Yeah, and of course Jordan posting twice a day at this point, right, on Gin Jag. So talk to us about
only one tomorrow.
Only one tomorrow.
I think everyone can understand.
I can tell you guys one thing. One thing's a certainty. I will not be posting tomorrow unless something insane happens. But tell us what's coming up on your channel, man.
I think game preview, Jags at Titans tomorrow, full game preview, and then Friday I'm going to try to have like a normal schedule, two shows, and Saturday will be bold predictions as always. I always love doing that bold predictions show on Saturday. Get some content out for y'all for the weekend. Y'all know what it is Sunday.
Oh, it's Titans. It's Titans week, baby. This is usually a bigger week, but they've gotten so pathetic. It feels like it's not even a lot of hype about this one, but it's fine, man. It's fine. I'll take the Titans being bad. And I've been wanting. This is the game I've been dreaming about, man. I want an easy game, and hopefully this is an easy game, because we deserve a stress-free game after what we went through last Sunday in the 4:00 window.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. But all right, guys, like I said, both channels linked in the description. Go support them. Go support all the Jaguars creators. There's a lot of them out there, but nobody's more consistent than these guys here. We're here to stay. That's for damn sure. But all right, guys, on your way out, drop a like on the stream and go Jags.